events to go here this beautiful Saturday night.
Here come 30 laps. USAC Midget main event time. You might want to come to your feet, ladies and gentlemen. Beginning at the north end of the track, let's produce the Raven wave for them and send them off and running. Here we go. We've got green, and we don't have Jack Yaley in the starting field. But we'll keep a close eye and ear on the pit fields, and if he's heading back out here anytime soon, we'll let you know. But he's going to have to make it real soon to get into any serious contention here, because these guys have gone racing. You've got Jerry Rice, your young Tucson lady, bolting into the lead, but just in time to run flat out into a yellow flag with a pair of midgets sitting idled up in turn 4. And Doug Nelson has retired his number 40 midget off to the pit field. It's good timing for him under the yellow too, so he'll be hoping for a snappy and quick turnaround. Jerry Rice in number 26, she who got her start in go-karts from Tucson and sponsored by Ron's Racing Products, was able to bolt it into the lead, but not in time to make it official and hold up because of our dual card yellow up here in turn 4.
That's exactly right, Tom.
You sound like, no, you almost sucked me into that one, didn't you?
They're back doing that. I heard it on the radio today.
Oh, well, it's a bad night to talk about it. Gosh. But we hope you O'Reilly folks are having some fun. We'll come back and do it again, and we thank you for making the pot just a little richer tonight. $750 richer, as a matter of fact, which is going to make your top 10 guys sweat bullets to pick up an extra $75. They'll be able to stop and treat all their friends at Triple T or Tucson McGraw's en route back into the valley tonight.
Or they can take their friends to a French restaurant. Jacques in the Box.
Jacques in the Box? I've heard of Wang in the Box.
Yeah, I seen that today.
Wang in the Box.
Wang in the Box. Up on, what was it, Fort Lowell?
I thought that was a joke for the longest time. And
it's a real restaurant.
Sure enough, it's only in Tucson.
Well, it looks like they'll get these back underway. Hopefully.
Well, we'll see how quickly 96 is able to get a fire, and Rod Downs is back into motion. Locomotion, and just in time to give Jerry Rice a good run for her money, because she has served an early on notice that she's going to be right up there given any opportunity, any crack of an opportunity whatsoever. She's going to be gone, zoomed off to the front of the class. She almost had it wrapped had it not been for those two getting a little wishy-washy down there. 3X of Steve Enlow. Tough start for our friend who is in the roller skating business over in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and whose Tulsa football team took one on the nose today.
Did they?
The number 1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners piled it on in Tulsa today to the tune of 65-0. Barry Switzer and his boys serving notice to Nebraska, who had their hands full of Sun Devils in Tempe today, that they are the national championship squad.
George Camp, for safety's sake, tells him one more time around, here comes Cactus Jack Yaley back out on the racetrack.
So what a turnaround for him, as a really good turn of fate raised a rather pretty head and has put that man, always aggressive and going for it, back into the fray. He'll be at the back of the pack. He'll be one worth keeping an eye on as he'll try to make his way up through the field to the top, where Kent Zimmerman sits at the start of this one. We've got green flag, and here we go, racing once again, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, it's Jerry Rice serving notice that she's come to contend, and contend she will do in that number 26 machine. She's in the lead into turn 3. and leading a pretty close pack right now in the early on of this one. 30 laps with Jerry Rice in the lead. And wouldn't you know it, after a clean start of racing tonight, it's anything but clean now, with plenty of yellow being produced here. This one, again, a problem up in turn 4 this time. Unlike last time, it's but one machine knocked down.
And still not a complete lap under the green, and another restart. Oh, we've got one over there between 1 and 2 also. So we'll have a complete restart once again.
That's Scott Summers from Mesa in the 65 machine with a problem up in turn 4. And 96, Rod Downs, down in turn 1. And another complete restart. So Jerry Rice has got to be wondering, what in the world does she have to do that she hasn't already done to get herself locked into the lead position in this one? Every time she gets to the front of the class, we get a problem in the form of a spin. So when we restart here, it'll be Kent Zimmerman, followed by Dave Strickland, followed by Jerry Rice, followed by Jerry Coons Jr. Those are your top 4, with Denise Bennett in number 95 and Dave Culp in 90 and John Hibner in 5A, David Burns in 73, and maybe, just maybe, Steve Sussex down from Tempe in 23A, having something to say in the very early on of race resumption here with regard to who's going to be leading who by how much, and so on and so forth. Jerry Rice has looked awfully good so far.
Boy, hasn't she? The last 2 times we went under the green, she just vaulted out into first place and held on to it. Well, almost a full lap on each time. So we'll just have to see if anybody can catch her if she tries to do the same thing for the 3rd time.
Doug Nelson is back out in number 40. He had retired a little earlier on to the pit field, so he is now back in the number 40 midget. One of the sons of Clyde Nelson, a staunch supporter of Dave and Linda's effort here at Raven Raceway in '87, and I'm sure times to come.
Well, let's see what happens now.
So George Camp, Bob McKinley give him the eyeball. We'll do one more, at least, at this pace. And we've only lost 2 machines to attrition, from a 23-car starting field to a 21-car restarting field, if you will, and the green flag is brought forth by flagman starter George Camp. I think he's ready to go racing again. Hope you folks are, because here we go, off and running once again under the green. 30-lap main event coming up for you, with Kent Zimmerman and Dave Strickland battling it out this time by themselves for the lead position. But Jerry Rice is not lingering far behind or for long. And we're going to get a complete lap. Sure enough, as soon as she's not in the lead, that happens. But we've got yellow once again. And a downed machine just outside of turn 2 at the start of the backstretch area. Looks like that's 65 again of Scott Summers, our Mesa racer, down to do it in the dirt here in sunny southern Arizona. Sunny tonight. In a way, Dave looked up earlier, not a cloud in the sky, and he couldn't believe it. He's been living under a cloud seemingly all season long that Mother Nature has wanted to tease us with.
I think that's going to be all for Scott Summers in 65, Tom. That's the second spin. So he'll be out of this one, as the rules have it here at Raven Raceway. George Camp points his finger out one more time around. Everybody anxious, thinking the green flag's coming out, but no, no, no.
That would reduce us to a 20-car field if our math is holding up. And if it's not, John Hibner's educationally inclined mom, Joycia, will come up and straighten us out. Green flag again. Let's go racing. All 30 laps of it under the green, please. Zimmerman, Strickland, once again at the top. Jerry Rice thinking about what she had done earlier. Wondering if maybe we haven't run out of these incompleted start laps. Thinking maybe now's a good time for her to cash in. Let's see what, if anything, she's able to get done.
Yellow flag out again, Tom, as we've got one down between 3 and 4.
And still, can you believe it? No laps down in this one. We are still trying to get an official full first lap in.
Well, I believe that's 23A. That Steve Sussex from Tempe. Is that his second spin? No, first spin. Well, first time bringing out the yellow anyway, so see if we get Steve Sussex back into it, Tom. Boy, it was going so good tonight, too.
Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Lean, mean, and racing green, our favorite way here at Raven Raceway.
Looks like Hibner in number 5A from Tucson headed into the pits, and he made it up to the top of the hill, and then he rolled back a little bit, so we need a push truck over there to get him out of the way.
23A has taken a hike also, the Steve Sussex machine. So he is out of here. Hibner apparently wanting to get out of here and not quite able to do so. So we'll do one more, at least under the yellow. And then hopefully we'll be off and rocking. The 30-lap USAC Midget main event for you here tonight. Look at Yaley.
He's hanging in there.
Up front to start, then out of here, a spectator. Now back, and he started at the back of the pack just a little while ago, and now he is running fifth from the rear.
And working his way toward the front.
Which only leaves about 13 or 14 spots ahead of him. Between Zimmerman and himself, so he's not a bad one with regard to back in the pack to keep an eye on and watch him inch his way up. Try to close things up on the 38A machine of Phoenician Kent Zimmerman.
You know, Tom, I know you probably won't do it this year, but I'd like to see you get up in the flag stand during hot lap sometime. And what a feeling it is up there. I mean, what a job this man has to go. It's confusing during hot lapping.
A thundering herd running right under you. Well, can we do it? Let's try it anyway. Here we go. Green racing time. Once again, Zimmerman and Strickland. Also, once again, at the front of the pack. They're battling it out of two and down the back straightaway into turn 3. Still a big, tight bunch of them. The first 12 or so positions in this one. But it's Zimmerman in the lead in 38A with Strickland running right behind him in number 79. That's how they're stacked right now. Your front two with a two-car battle for third place as they roll into turn 3. Let's see how they fare between there and out of 4 and down through the start-finish area. With Strickland trying to close up now on Zimmerman, taking the inside track, but unable to get it done out of 1. And then at the short side of turn 2, sure enough, he was able to flash into the lead. Zimmerman got up into some of that soft stuff of turn 2, and that slowed him down. Dave Strickland takes over the lead in 79. Your earlier leader, Ken Zimmerman, not only drops off, but tails off to third place as Jerry Coons Jr. of Tucson puts that 12A machine into second place. But we've got yellow once again, and a midget down up in turn 1. That's 66 up in the turn 1 area in a bit of a jam. The 66 of Glenn Smith. So he's continuing to have his problems in the early on here of what is supposed to be a 30-lap midget main event.
Well, we've got 3 whole laps down in this 30-lap event, Tom.
10%, huh?
Evidently. Let's see if we can keep him on the green. Got one being pushed. That is Zimmerman on the back straightaway.
They get the indication from George Camp that there'll be one more, because they're obviously not going to get that one fired up back there. So they'll get it safely tucked up into the infield area. Cactus Jack now sitting just about at the middle of the pack. It's amazing how many different things can figure into how fate and racing sometimes go hand in hand. Then again, sometimes they don't. But with 3 laps down and 27 to go, here we go. Racing green again with Dave Strickland in 79, trying to set the early lead pace here. He's got the lead, but not by much. Coming out of turn 2 and down the back chute, he has lost the lead back, so that's a seesaw battle for the lead going on within this lap. And Strickland able to hang on and stave off Jerry Coons Jr. in that 12A machine. Jerry putting on a whale of a show in that little car, flashing right behind the lead machine once again up into turn 3 as we eyeball lap number 5. Coons unable to get the job done. Strickland maintains the lead. Coons behind him, and your former leader Ken Zimmerman in 38A now running along in third place. Here in your USAC midget main event, beginning to click along now. Lap 6 coming up. Strickland leads him into it. Jerry Coons Jr. right behind him. Then Ken Zimmerman and Mike Brooks in number 11. Rounding out your top 4. Jerry Rice is currently running along in 5th place here. She looked awfully good in a couple of misfire kind of starts earlier on here. One worthy of keeping your eye on. Strickland and Coons, Zimmerman and Brooks. That's how they're running in the top 4. But they're keeping it in the green here as Strickland in the lead brings them around through 4 and down the home stretch. Still Strickland followed by Jerry Coons Jr. Those two now beginning to open it up just a little bit on Kent Zimmerman and Mike Brooks, who are battling it out for third place in this one. Lap 9 of 30 with no change in the top 2 or the second 2. Strickland and Coons, Brooks and Zimmerman and Beyer all right up there, as is Jerry Rice. Strickland and Coons there. Brooks and Beyer, Zimmerman and Rice. Your own 6-pack here in a midget main. Strickland, since he has taken over the lead, has looked real healthy. Seems to have a very good handle on it as we take a look now at lap number 11. So we do begin to click them off and click them along, but not for long. We go to yellow one more time with a machine down right here in front of us.
Kent Zimmerman, Tom, in number 38A from Phoenix, who is currently holding on to 6th position.
Had been your earlier leader, and now it looks like spectatorship for him. Unless he's able to get in and out, get it back to race ready. but it'll be tough now.
So once again, the yellow flag is out here at Raven.
John Hibner has got his 5A machine back out here now, and just in time, because we've gone green and racing, trying to catch up with Dave Strickland over from California tonight in that 79 midget up at the front of the class. Jerry Coons Jr. of Tucson trying to close it off in 12A and running a good race of his own. But right now, Jerry's got to be feeling some heat, some pressure right behind him in the form of Mike Brooks from Tulsa in number 11 and Donnie Byer in the 23X machine. Your top four as we approach midway in this one. Here they come down off of turn 4. Strickland in 79, Jerry Coons, and then Brooks still running 1, 2, 3. Those three are. With Donnie Byer, Dave Burns, and Jerry Rice, and La Jolla Payne trying to inch their way into the top 5. Strickland and Coons, 1, 2. Brooks dropping off vastly there in the number 11 machine. In fact, I thought he was heading for the pit field. And now it looks like maybe that would have been a very smart move on his part, because he has brought out some yellow. 14 laps are in the book, as that little maneuver up there has brought us back to a bunching situation, single file, of course. I thought he was actually experiencing trouble and heading to the pit field, but he bypassed the pit field gate only to make it up to the Lou's plumbing supply sign, and that's why we're under the yellow once again, just a lap away from midway.
He was probably playing it safe, Tom. He knew his engine died and not taking a chance of going into the pits with somebody behind him and climbing his wheel. So that's obvious why he probably tried to, or evident why he probably tried to keep it on the racetrack and not causing any major problems over at the pit gate.
So this will give some new breath of sorts to Jerry Coons, Donnie Byer, and David Burns in particular, because those are the trio sitting closest to the leader, Dave Strickland. So your Californian in the lead, Tucson's Jerry Coons in second, Donnie Byer from Las Cruces in the 23X machine currently in third, and Casa Grande's David Burns in 73 round out your top 4. So you've got a very international flavor there at the top, with a pair of Tucsonans in the top 5. If you look at that 5th position as held down by Ernie Payne in 77. The green flag is flown again by George Camp. And here they go again, giving Dave Strickland some chase, if they possibly can. Jerry Coons Jr. hangs on to that 2nd spot. That's where he's been all race long, or so it seems, behind either Strickland or the first go-round leader as we reach halfway, midway point. The yellow and red flags crisscrossed as they are by George Camp, telling the drivers you've come half of the way in this 30-lap main event. The 15 laps that remain will click along a lot quicker, I think it's safe to say, than what our first 15 did. And right now, Dave Strickland is beginning to open it up just a little bit on Jerry Coons Jr. Equal distance of margin between Strickland, Coons, and Byer. Your top trio right now. You can include David Burns in 4th place. About 5 car lengths between them. And now it's opened up just a little bit by Strickland, with Coons and Byer having at one another for second best in this one. Doing it under the green and rolling into lap 18. With 79, Dave Strickland, Jerry Coons Jr., Donnie Byer, Dave Burns, Ernie Payne, and Dave Culp. Your top 6, your first lady, Jerry Rice, is at position number 7. after a couple of really good early on kicks in this one. Jerry Rice riding in 7th place right now in her 26 machine. A lot of them flying around Doug Nelson in number 40 into turn 1. But they're doing it clean and green, our favorite way, and we're into lap 20. We have come 2/3 of the way now. And look at Cactus Jack battling Jack in that number 1 blue racer.
He's all the way up to 7th.
He has now displaced Jerry Rice at number 7 in this one. Cactus Jack, an early starter, then an early fader, and then he returned to the action. And now he's battled his way back up into 7th place. What a kick for him up through the field and trying to nail it up on Dave Strickland. 26, Jerry Rice, did I just hear correctly, retired to the pits?
Yes, you did.
Doggone it. She was running 7th until bumped out by Cactus Jack and then a problem. It's retired her from the racing circus. Unhappy to report. Jerry Rice out of here. Dave Strickland having it all his way right now. Jerry Coons trying to do something about that in 12A. Riding awfully close to the rail up there coming out of turn 2. But able to keep it down and in the thick of it all. And that's Jerry himself. Got a little close to the old guardrail up there. Just a tad high in turn 2.
Looks like Donnie Byer in 23X overtook Mr. Coons, so Byer's in 2nd position. Coons falls back into 3rd.
5 laps to go for that man, Dave Strickland in 79, our California driver in the lead. Las Cruces is Donnie Byer in 2nd place, and Tucsonan Jerry Coons Jr. now running 3rd in that 12A machine. But he's had a good one. Dave Burns in 73 in 4th place. Coons looked like he was going to take a stab and then drifted. Got awfully close to the guardrail, and now they're awfully close to one another between turns 3 and 4, with Jerry overtaking and moving into 2nd place once again, leaving Donnie Byer of Las Cruces in 3rd place. And still Dave Burns trudging along in 73 in 4th place, but he's at risk now. And that should be Dave Culp flying by him. Time rapidly running out in this one. White flag has been raised to its wave position. 23, Donnie Byer. 23X machine as the white flag flies for Strickland and Coons. And now the checkered flags. Dual checkered flags fly for Dave Strickland in 79. Congratulations to our Californian, sponsored by Ellis Racing. Wrapping up a main event win here in that number 79 machine. Jerry Coons Jr. in 12A takes 2nd. Dave Burns in 73 finishes number 3. And Dave Culp in the 90 machine rounds out your top 4. Jack?
Very good race, Tom. Dave Burns, or Dave Strickland, 79 from California, winning it with Coons with a good challenge, but could never catch him in that number 12A, winds up in 2nd place. Dave Maness to the office. Dave Maness to the Raven Raceway office, please. So it started off a little shaky, Tom. A few yellows, more than any other race tonight, but we wound up with the last 8 or 9 or 10 or so. Okay, well, let's line them up for you for the main event, a 30-lap event for the NASCAR Winston late models, bringing it up from the rear tonight from Tucson, Arizona. Automotive Recyclers, one of the sponsors, and Custom Engines, the car number 11T, Ken McCluskey.
The 94 machine sponsored by Borderland, Altieri Trailer Sales, Quaker State Oil, Performance Engine and Machine, Gary's Towing, Creco Equipment Rentals, and Certified Auto Electric, plus Nogales Automotive, also behind the effort of driver Jack Kokot.
In the car number 48 from Tucson, sponsored by Frontier Towing, Parts World, ACI, C&T Tire, a Buick. Car number 48, Lou Malandrone.
Next, the number 84, sponsored by Valet Auto Service, McGill's Quality Radiator, Citco Oil, Grant Auto Supply, CNC Cleaning, CNC Construction, Custom Design Consultants, and Hallmark Construction. Dana Fight.
In the car number 34, sponsored by Brandon Brothers Texaco, Pete's Auto Repair, Roger Hale Farms, Arizona Crank, Bowles Distributor. Car number 34, driving for Ronnie Whitwell tonight, Leroy Welch.
The number 90 T-Bird, sponsored by Drake & Sons Used Auto and Truck Parts, and Jason's Restaurant 2, with Tucsonan Chuck Bosland at the wheel.
In the car number 12, sponsored by MP Engine and Machine, Ellis Porting Service, and Greco Painting. Car number 12 from Tucson, Mike Mitzner.
The 73 AM, as you've become familiar with, over from Eloy, sponsored by Hancock Towing and Garage in Eloy, Valley Auto Parts of Eloy, the Eloy Pickers of you-know-where, and Snap-on Tools of Tucson. In his first year in a late model, Mike Hancock.
Wrong car, George. Well, let's hear it for him once again. Mike Hancock in 73. We'll get her right. In the car number, he apologizes, puts the flag over his head. Okay, in the car number 44, sponsored by Quaker State, C&L Thunder, Alpha Plumbing, Southwest Radiator, Spars Gym, Certified Electric, Lou's Speed Shop, George's Automatic Transmission, Greco Painting, Design Communications. Car number 44, Kevin Clayton.
The number 11 car down from Phoenix tonight, sponsored by Roadrunner Engine and Federal Mogul and the United States Navy, with Dual Albee at the wheel.
From Gilbert, Arizona, sponsored by Lincoln Auto in Phoenix, Arnold's Auto Generator in Apache Junction, a Chevy 427, a car number 101, Darrell Bradford.
The number 6 machine, sponsored by Southwest Stucco, Sunset Ornamental Iron, D&R Communications, with Tucsonan Ron Lutz at the wheel.
In the car number 98 from Tucson, sponsored by Arizona Machine and Tool Center Incorporated, Townsend Racing Works, American Spectrum Corporation. Car number 98, Robert Townsend.
Inside the 7th row, the 23T machine, sponsored by San Javier Rock and Material, George's Automatic Transmission, Hoffman's Dairy Queen, 2 locations, and Raven Racing Photos, also behind the effort of Tucsonan Jack Moore.
And Dave Maness to the front gate, please. In the car number 61, sponsored by Royal Automotive, Copper State Towing, Quaker State Oil, Rogers Automotive Finishes, a Chevy 406, car number 61, Roy Gibson.
Number 9 car, sponsored by Southwest Stucco, Sunset Ornamental Iron, Colb Road Lounge, The Bootery on Craycroft, D&R Communications, Drake & Sons Used Truck Parts, with Bronco Billy Brandon at the wheel.
Driving the number 88 machine, sponsored by Eastside Engines, DeYoung Motorsports, and Valley Marble, Tucson Boxing Association. Car number 88 from Tucson, Dwayne Lang.
Inside the fifth row, sponsored by George's Automatic Transmission, Certified Auto Electric, Dick Pinnell's All Exhaust Systems, Cactus Boot and Shoe Repair, Auto Visuals, Creco Contracting, Rental Equipment. Number 71, Paul Banghar.
From Phoenix, Arizona, sponsored by Train Body Shop and Fiesta Car. And this car is for sale. Car number 15, Dean Vance.
Inside the fourth row, number 87, sponsored by East Side Engines, DeYoung Motorsports, Valley Marble, and the Tucson Boxing Association. 35 years of racing for Tucsonan Herb Lang.
In the car number 4U, Budweiser for you, and sponsored by Budweiser and Golden Eagle Distributors, Performance Engine and Machine, Certified Auto Electric, Brassfield Auto Parts, Braswell Carburetors, Pennzoil, Top Line Auto Repair, ANC Radiator. The car number 4U, Rick Sipes.
Inside the third row, the number 14, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet, Townsend's Racing Works, Tucson On Tape, Steen Engineering, Foothills Automotive, and Certified Auto Electric. That's Tucsonan Terry Green.
And down to you, Dave Manus.
Okay, we got a little special presentation. It's very worthy. Terry Green and Kathy Green, first my congratulations to you two for all the work you've done to help promote Raven Raceway this year. Kathy Green is with KRQ. She does an awful lot of work to promote the sport. Terry Green has been a super sport himself in promoting better sponsorships and money out here. O'Reilly Chevrolet put up $750 bonus money tonight to the top 10 cars, get $75 each extra on their main event winnings, so that's real nice. Terry Green has a special presentation he'd like to make.
I didn't know I was going to have to make a speech, Dave. This is the first time I've ever been on a racetrack. I've been afraid. I'd like to, on behalf of my crew and myself, present this plaque to O'Reilly Chevrolet. Oh, I'm not used to working this. And just thank you for all your support, and thanks for all the spectators that have come out, and not just O'Reilly spectators, but everybody, because without spectators, without sponsors, we wouldn't have a race. That's all from me. Thanks, sir.
How about a nice round of applause for O'Reilly Chevrolet tonight? They did help on the purse, and their crew's been fantastic. Okay, on we go.
In the car number 54 on the inside or outside of the second row from El Paso, Texas, sponsored by Ashco Incorporated, Cars Parts Machine, Transportation Services Incorporated, Jim Harris.
Inside row 2, 17 is the number. The sponsors are Coors Light, A. Pierce Company, Arizona Spring, Townsend's Racing Works, McLaughlin Body and Paint, Pima Welding Supply, and Pennzoil. He is Tucsonan Ivan Russel.
On the outside of the front row outside pole position tonight from Tucson, sponsored by Performance Engine and Machine, Certified Auto Electric, Brassfield Auto Parts, Braswell Carburetions, Copper State Towing, Simonson Generator, ABC Radiator, DeYoung Motorsports, Ron's Racing Products, and D&M Manufacturing, Jamie Throckmorton Jr.
And off the pole position behind the Rawlings Chrysler Plymouth Chrysler LeBaron tonight, sponsored by Blue Circle West, Performance Engine and Machine, Braswell Carburation, the Spirit of Vicky Lynn Carr, with Danny's Racing Apparel of Amarillo, Texas, also standing behind the 30-year racing effort of Tucsonan, Carl Trimmer. And there you have it.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Your starting grid. Now our men make their way up into the flagman's starter stand with that Fredericks of Hollywood racer for sale. Huh?
Yeah, I like that's a good-looking automobile. Fiesta Car Company.
That's a hunk of racing machine down from the Phoenix area tonight. And here we go.
I bet you could pick up a few girls on Speedway in that machine, don't you think?
I saw some strange stuff on Speedway last night. Some of the strangest stuff I've seen yet. So let's wake them up, shake them up, Give them a standing ovation beginning up there on Stomper or Smiley Hill, whichever you prefer tonight, and generating a wave right down through the grandstand area. Let's try it. When the lead 2 cars are in front of you, stand up, see what the effect is. Okay.
We got 1 up. Do I hear 2?
Wow.
There's 3, 4, 4.5.
Reaching the masses. KRQ went to 100,000 watts this week. Raven Radio has gone to 3 watts. What? What?
What?
What?
What you say?
30-lap late model main event for you, all set to tear up and off. If you want to see these guys pour it on, you pour it on right here. Give them a standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen, and let's send them off to the races in fine fashion tonight. I just got that feeling, Jack, that this one is going to be one swell-lacious late model main event.
Looks
Rick
like we've got a hood off. Uh-oh.
Doing an early number. Ivan Russel getting an early bump in, heading into turn 3, and look at the closeness between Brockmorton, 54, Ivan, and Sipes. Those guys are running real close.
One of the Langs lost his hood on the back straightaway, Tom. That's what brought out the yellow. Well, we've got a spin out also. But that hood just went flying.
Just so much power under the hood, it couldn't be contained. So the hood blew. Did not complete a lap, so we're right back to where we were.
Georgia's got the complete restart flag out. Let's see if we can get them all lined up properly.
Should be Trimmer and Throckmorton, row 1, Russell and Harris, row 2, Green and Sipes, row 3, Lang and Vance in the 4th row, Banghart and Lang Dwayne behind them, Bronco Billy and Rapid Roy, Jack Moore, Bob Townsend, Ronnie Lutz, Darrell Bradford, Duel Albay. Spells it D-E-W-I-L, pronounces it dual as in D-U-A-L or E-L. Duel Albay of Phoenix in number 11. Kevin Clayton, Mike Hancock, Mike Meisner, Chuck Boslin, Leroy Welch, Dana Fight, Lou Malandrone, Jack Cocott, and Ken McCluskey. All getting a restart right here. The Dean Vance number 15 machine, the one we've teasingly called the Fredericks of Hollywood Racer tonight, is one of those mini race machines tied in with this race facility this year that are on the marketplace. Can be had for a right price. And most of them is all race ready.
Black flag for number 11. I wonder why.
Extra air conditioning duct on that machine. Dual Albay. Come down from Phoenix tonight to run into that action. Dual Albay is our first attrition. We're down to 25. Make that 24.
Looks like Leroy Welch driving that 34 machine tonight. The old Ronnie Whitwell car.
The second one to be knocked out of here, the Pete Hernandez late model.
You say it's cool outside, huh?
It's gotten real comfortable out there. While the engines are idled down, suck some of that air in here. Terry Green in the 14 O'Reilly Chevy machine, winner of tonight's 3rd heat lap. He finished just ahead of Throckmorton's B-52 in that race. Trimmer took it in the first heat race this evening. And Jim Harris was the winner of our second heat race for the NASCAR Winston late modelers tonight. Harris is now sitting in position 4 in this one. 11 got back out here.
Yes, it did.
Holy smoke, dual Albay. Well,
Duel's got a singular sidewall now.
somebody had a big set of scissors down there in the pit field and went to work on him.
Suppose they'll cut my mustache for me with those?
He's running a little lighter in this one, so we'll see if that speeds him up any.
Okay, here they come around 3 and 4. What do you think?
I think we've got racing green, and here we go with Carl Trimmer in the 74 machine in the lead off the restart. Let's see how he does. He looks like he's got plenty of power mustered up here tonight. Brockmorton trying to maintain second place, but Ivan Russell and Sipes and Harris all want to get around him, and Terry Green too. I think he can even throw Herb Lang in on that. So Throckmorton taking it low and inside. The ground is being gained by the leader, Carl Trimmer. Through 3, in 2 and out of 4, and Harris getting awfully wobbly there in 54. Sipes likewise behind him, but they were able to keep it under control and in the main flow of things. So we're still racing under the green. Throckmorton still riding in second place. Jimmy Harris riding up on his outside, trying to move into second place. As we roll into lap number 3, Carl Trimmer in the lead. Jim Harris has now battled his way past Throckmorton and into second place. Let's see if he can hang on to that. Ivan Russell is running fourth in the Coors Light number 17 Silver Bullet Special. And that's the Budweiser for you. Rick Sipes right behind him. And then Herb Lang. Harris now moving away from Throckmorton and trying to close it up on Carl Trimmer. Wild and wobbly down here in turn 4. One awry and up into the infield area in a little bit of a dust devil of his own. So far no yellow, and Carl Trimmer continues in the lead. Jim Harris continues giving it the best of pursuit right now. We'll see if and how that changes, and looks like Jack Moore has got a problem up entering turn 4. At least he has slowed down tremendously.
Looks like he's got a flat tire. Yes, he does, on that right front of Jack Moore. Scooting it into the pits right now. See if he can do an Indianapolis-type pit stop and get back out on the racetrack.
Well, he's got a yellow to do it under.
Well, that'll close him up. And Mr. Harris, along with Throckmorton and Russell, are happy about this yellow.
Mike Meisner's got to be pretty tickled too, because that's his number 12 machine there that looked like it might just be down for a bit, sitting in the infield area, but he's able to get it moving under his own power, and so he is back out there and ready to give chase.
Gets it back in this one.
So we've bunched him up, as Jack likes to say. It'll be Trimmer, Harris, Throckmorton, and Russell, followed by Sipes, your top 5. Herb Lang in 6th place, and then Albay right behind him in 7th place. Looks like Banghar good for 8th right now, or thereabouts, although that looks like Terry Green trying to find a space to squeeze into back there. So George Camp indicates by giving him the finger, one more lap, and they'll try to get him sorted out and space made for anybody who is not in single file behind Trimmer, Harris, Throckmorton, Russell, Sipes, Lang, Albay. Green has now worked his way in front of Banghart, and then Dwayne Lang, followed by Bronco Billy in the Southwest Stucco number 9 machine. That's how they stack up, the top 11 here. As we continue under the yellow, Camp indicates one more.
Give the chance for Gary's Towing to get back into the center infield out here, ready to go once again.
Also might get that flat fixed down there in the pit field and get him back out here.
That's right. That's right.
12 Carr is 1 lap back, and the 34 machine of Hernandez is currently 4 laps in arrears. As the green flag is prepared to be waved once again, and George Camp lets him go with Carl Trimmer and Jim Harris, Brockmorton, Russell, and Sipes. All 5 of them bunched up for this restart, and Russell loses ground up there in turn 2 and drops back to 5th place behind Rick Sipes. So it's a beer battle for those two as they drag it through turn 4, and now look to close it up on Trimmer and Harris, who are running 1-2. Sipes has battled his way into 3rd place now, and Ivan Russell running 4th. Brockmorton has steadily dropped off, is now running in 5th place in this one. Trimmer almost all by himself. Jim Harris trying to close it up, as is Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4U car, followed by the Coors Light of Ivan Russell, then Throckmorton, then Lang, then Albay, and Banghar, and Lang, and Green behind them. Trimmer, Harris, Sipes, and Russell, and Throckmorton.
It's going to be interesting, Tom, because Trimmer's going to run into some traffic here in the next couple of 3 laps and see how he handles that as the rest of them try to catch him.
Alan Grove has been very good about his slower paces. He keeps it just out of the way of the main contenders, lets them have a faster and lower road, more in the center of the groove. No black magic or magic ice or black ice forming so far here this evening. Well, maybe just a hint of the beginning.
It's been a good racetrack tonight.
There's Trimmer in that slower stuff now. Let's see if Harris is able to cash in on it. He has already been able to close off some of it. Getting over to turn 4.
Oh, look out.
Trimmer's running on the inside of 3 abreast. Up into turn 1 and just felt that one coming on, and Rick Sipes able to slow off and pull out in time to keep from getting messed up with that 34 machine out there of Leroy Welch.
That's his 2nd spin, Tom. Looks like that's going to be it for Leroy, as the officials announce in the background. So the yellow flag is brought out once again, and that will once again bunch him up. And Rick Sipes, again, pleased with that one, because he will really be on the tail of Harris and Trimmer at this next green flag.
How many laps did we shoot away here anyway?
9 laps.
9 of them down. So we're about almost approximately
a third.
Nearing a third of the way here. And this could be a 2/3 dash.
Now, would that be 30%? No. It'd be 33 1/3. Right?
1/3 of 30 would be 10.
Okay, but what percentage would it be? 33 1/3?
It'd be 33 1/3%. I do believe. Joycia, help.
Help.
We're getting into percentages. God only knows why. It was volunteered.
Just trying to make conversation. We've only been talking since 6:30.
Is that true?
That's
oh my goodness, a 5-hour talking marathon. I felt a talking jag coming on tonight shortly after I arrived here.
And when I go home, my wife wonders why I don't talk to her. Wait a minute, I'm not married.
You're not even married.
Oh, that's right.
Yet. Oh.
Well, I could sing in between the yellows.
No, don't.
No? Okay.
34 hiking his way out of here and back into spectator row in the pit field. We'll do one more and then hopefully crank him up once again and see if that guy right there, 54, can close in on 74. Jimmy Harris, Carl Trimmer, Rick Sipes. Got his first main event win out here on fireworks night, July 4th. He's been back a couple of times and looking pretty good here, sitting in 3rd place just ahead of Ivan Russell. Then Throckmorton rounding out your top 5. Herb Lang, your 6-pack. Here they come. They've got the green, and here we go with 9 down and 21 remaining.
Oh, look at Rick Sipes jumping out in front of Harris on a good jump on that green flag.
Jump start my heart. Rick Sipes trying to dial in on Carl Trimmer now in the Blue Circle West 74. The spirit of Vicky Lynn Carr. And your Sunbelt points winner here in 1987. Sending a bunch of our Raven Raceway folks to Nashville.
Boy, I don't know, Tom. Carl looks real good out there tonight. Looks like this is his type of racetrack right now.
Well, Sipes is in 2nd place behind Carl, but he's got Harris and now Russell making some serious intentional moves on the inside of Harris as those two power their way into the slide of turn 1, and Russell maintains it a little bit better and comes out of it in 3rd place out of turn 2 and down the back chute. But Carl Trimmer's all by himself at the front of this class. Passing up Lou Malindrome in the 48 Buick. Rick Sipes continues to run 2nd, Ivan Russell 3rd, and Jimmy Harris has now dropped off to 4th place just ahead of Jamie Throckmorton in that 52 machine, and we've got yellow once again.
Jack Moore having another problem with that 23T machine. Looks like it just died out as he came around turn number 4, and that's his 2nd spin. So, well, no, it's not. No, it's not. He went into the pits and had a tire change. Let's see if they'll get him back going. Cindy Applewright, please come to the office, or go to the office. Cindy Applewright, go to the Raven Raceway office, if you would, please. Jack Moore being pushed into the pits in 23T. Brings out the yellow once again. Leroy Welch was black flagged in that 34 machine. And we'll get them lined up for you once again with about, what, 12 laps down? 12 laps down, the officials say. Let's check 14 out here, Terry Green's car.
He's had enough flat tires. He cannot conceivably have another flat tire.
Well, we'll put the binoculars on him right now.
He's been through at least 12.5 new tires this year. At least that many.
I don't.
What do you think? Can
No,
you tell?
it doesn't look flat through the binoculars.
Green again. Trimmer, Sipes, and Russell off the restack. Jimmy Harris and Throckmorton rounded out the top 5. And look at that. Trimmer opens it up already here in our restart, but we've gone to yellow with a downed machine there in turn 4.
Is that Dana Fight? Looks like Dana Fight.
Yep.
That
Number 84 of Dana Fight, his new machine, relatively new at any rate. At least he's got his own juices cooking in there, so he'll button up to the back of the pack in 84. Dana Fight, and we'll be off and running. But not this time around. One more, says George Camp.
So 12 laps down in this one. We'll try to get it under the green again. Well, here we go again.
Green time with Trimmer and Sipes and Russell and Harris and Throckmorton and Albay. Your top 6-pack at restart time here. Terry Green in the O'Reilly Chevy machine. number 14. Trying desperately to battle into the lead crew here. He's got a ways to go to catch up to that top trio of Trimmer and Sipes and Russell. Looking awfully good, those three are so far. None of them looking quite as good as Carl Trimmer, who's done it all here in 1987 and looks to continue doing it here tonight.
That's for sure, Tom. You know, Sipes was right behind Trimmer at the green, and all of a sudden Trimmer just pulled away from him. It looks like it may be all of Trimmer's if he can just hang on another half more race.
Midway has been reached, and with it comes the yellow. The downed machine this time between turns 1 and 2.
Looks like that's 61.
Rapid Roy, who's not so rapid right now. He's a stagnated Roy Gibson in 61. His wife Jackie, the owner of that machine, and no doubt somewhere in our throng tonight. Jackie, it's been a pleasure working with you across this initial campaign of racing at Raven Raceway. I know Jackie is not feeling any more comfortable with seeing the old man in that situation up there. But hopefully they'll get him turned around and put right back into this thing and see what he can gnaw off. The Langs, Herb and Dwayne, 87 and 88. Paul Banghar there, the 20-year-old Charger, that number 71 car. Bronco Billy Brandon in the 9 Southwest Stucco machine car tonight. Look for the laughing boy, Marion Smiley, to have his own racing enterprise, hopefully in the not too distant future. As we learn more of it, we will pass the word along. Okay? Maybe even have him up here to the tower to pass the word along himself.
Looks like 87, the Herb Lang car, into the pits right now for some repairs or whatever. You know, I just thought of something.
Uh-oh.
I know. You smelled something burning, huh?
Told you no more thinking, Jack.
I want to wish.
We get into trouble every time you think.
He's not here tonight, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. 70 years old this Monday, yes.
I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. There's no way that old hunk can be 70.
He's on his way back from Chicago right now. 70 years old. Happy birthday, Dad.
Wherever you are.
Probably in Missouri right now. I had a big tragedy in Missouri one year. I got married there.
Did it last?
Nope.
Well,
87's back. Let's change the subject.
The show me state. I guess you got showed, huh?
I sure did.
Where is that old beach? Oh, Kathy Elizabeth, help.
Kathy Elizabeth Green.
Green machine.
Still quite a few cars out on the racetrack right now. Started off with 26 of them.
Green flag is in George Camp's hand. He's eyeballing them. They've impressed him, and here we go once again. Can anybody catch that man, Carl Trimmer? Rick Sipes, Ivan Russel, Jamie Throckmorton, Jimmy Harris, Duel all day, and Lang all think they can. Let's see. Trimmer out of 4. The midway sign is waved to them. We're halfway complete in our last main event of the evening for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Carl Trimmer looks, if everything holds, to be in the catbird seat, as he so often is. Sipes and Russell, their own bar stars, battling it out for second place right now. Bud and Coors Brockmorton and Lang and Harris has dropped off considerably now, Jack.
That he has.
He's down to about 6th place in this one behind Carl Trimmer.
Trimmer did it again. He just pulled away from the rest of the field. It's gonna be hard to catch him. Everybody's had the opportunity, but nobody could take advantage of it. He's just got about a couple of more horses under that hood than the rest of them. I don't think it's driving. I think it's all power right now.
Tremendous problem with that number 6 machine. Lutz tried to get it out of here, but you could see at the last minute he did not trust the steering. He was getting that amount of bob and weave in it that he didn't want to try to stick it between those retaining walls down there and head into the pit field.
Boy, I don't blame him.
But you saw right here in front of the grandstand area, he was bouncing back and forth a good 12 feet at a time. He could have done a Patrick Salloway had he tried to go into the pit field. Salloway one night going in got into company. After a race was completed, and end over end he went right up and over the retaining wall and flip-flopped into the pit field. So Lutz drifts it into the infield here. It seems to be steering a little bit better now. But I'll tell you what, that was a wild and wobbly ride there for a while.
And he says, let me out of here.
How many laps have we chewed out so far?
Looks like about 17.
17 of 30.
Lutz is upset. He did not want to get out of this one. And he's not very happy right now. You can't blame him. A lot of time and effort into these automobiles during the week and then being disappointed like this.
I thought he was going to wind up
Kick it.
and try to boot it through the field goals as set up by the tow arms on the back of Gary's towing. It looked like he was in that frame of mind, but then he just bent over and undid the hood clasps. Now he's looking under there to see what so affected his steering just in one fell swoop, or so it seemed. So the green flag is prepared once again, ladies and gentlemen. 17 gone, 13 to go. Do we go here? Yes, we do. The green flag flies, and so does Carl Trimmer. So does Ricky Sykes.
Oh, look out down here in the front straight.
And Ivan Russel. And a rough ride in turn 4 in the early on of this one, but it looks like he's going to be able to get her back out here and off and under his own power. And quickly enough so as to keep it out of trouble. That's the number 11 machine. Ken McCleskey getting a bit of a break there after a bad break. Trimmer, Sipes, and Russell. Look at Throckmorton and Lang have at it for 4th place in this one. Nothing comes easy. First position or last position, it's got to be battled for. Nobody's running as hot right now as Carl Trimmer is in the Blue Circle West Spirit of Vicky Lynn car. Although Sipes and Russell would like to think they are within striking distance. We'll see. Trimmer looking ahead now, Jack, at that potential of having to battle into and through some slower traffic coming up in the next lap or two.
Will this be his 12th main event, Tom? Am I correct on that?
Number 12 or 13, I think number 12, yeah.
Uh-oh, 48 car. What is that? Blue Malandrone, I believe.
Malandrone. Can't believe he would have gotten caught into that, although he's been giving way, running right along on the racer's edge, if you will, trying to give the faster cars a clean breeze by him, but it doesn't work, although he's got his own power. So he's off moving again, but the yellow has been brought forth. So 21 laps now are in the book. 9 laps to go. wrap it up here on a Saturday night, number 26 in September, with but 7 dates left in this, the initial campaign. And thanks again for coming out and for staying with us. And we invite you to stay. We want you here for the next 7 dates that'll wrap it up in '87. Want you here for the rest of this main event run. And right after this is over, Dave Maness in Victory Lane goes one-on-one with tonight's big winners for you. And as soon as he's wrapped up the post-racing Victory Lane celebration, we open up the gates to Victory Lane and the pit fields, and we invite you to linger and stay and party a little bit with us. After that, there's always Tucson McGraw's up on the hill on Houghton. Triple T so conveniently along the way for a nice late night snack. And it shouldn't be too late night tonight. Waves again, and Carl Trimmer takes the lead on Rick Sipes and Ivan Russel. Lang, Brockmorton, and now Banghar to make it a 6-pack at the front of the class. Jim Harris, one time in second place in this one, has now dropped off to 7th and 8th place running. Trimmer, Sipes, and Russell bring him by with Dwayne Lang rounding out the top 4. Brockmorton still sitting in 5th best, and Banghar rounding out your 6-pack now as we near the 11th hour of this one.
All of Sipes' tear-offs have came off his helmet. That's what you see streaming out the back end of his race car right now. So he's probably driving without a tear-off, without a windshield, that is. The little plastic flaps that go across your helmet that you can tear off separately, but he accidentally tore them all off. Doesn't look like Sipes is going to catch him, Tom. Trimmer looks really good out there tonight. He's got it all put together.
It looks like with 5 laps to go, it's pretty much going to be the way you see them here. Trimmer, Sipes, Russell, Lang, Brockmorton, Banghar, Harris, Albay, and Bronco Billy Brandon.
But again, it's not over till it's over. We've seen that so many times out here at Raven.
Sipes is giving it his best shot. You can just see that car on the verge of breaking loose. He's got it so powered up that it looks like Carl Trimmer can run away at will, at liberty, anytime he so desires.
He runs into traffic every so often, but he handles it so well. And most of the fellows move over for him and let him by.
Staying inside Dana Fight, now bypassing Chuck Mosley.
Just a few left to go. He's got a whole lot of traffic up in front of him. Let's see how he handles that, if Rick can take advantage of that. But Rick's going to have that same traffic up in front of him. Lap 26, just a few more to go. Uh-oh, look out there in number 4. Looks like that 11 car again. And he gets it under control. Good job. White flag out, Tom.
To go for Carl Trimmer. Looking for main event win number 12 out here in the spirit of Vicky Lindgar. Those nice, bright, shiny new checkered flags do wave for Carl Trimmer, Rick Sipes, Ivan Russel.
And it looked like Dwayne Lang came in right behind Ivan Russell, that number 88 machine. So the checkered flags fly here at Raven as Carl Trimmer wins another one. Rick Sipes holds on the 2nd position. Ivan Russell winds up in 3rd, and Dwayne Lang holds on the 4th position. So Carl Trimmer wins his 12th here at Raven Raceway. And all of you folks, as Tom said, are invited down to Victory Lane on the front straightaway.
And the pit fields. But if you're not staying with us to do that.
Thanks, Dave.
Cindy and Donna from Dwarfs. They are models. They've accompanied us out here tonight thanks to Living Man. When Dustin had a couple young ladies come out here for a special clip. So, Cindy, let's go, Donna. Let's go first. Jim King, John King, from Phoenix, Arizona, back in the victory circle once again. Dennis Burns Ford. Thank him for the beautiful sound.
Careful, John.
Careful. Ron Price for Blue, Ryan Price, Dave Carminen, Ronnie Shoelay, thank you very much for participating in the relay. Okay. Winner, work our Raven, John King. Smile.
Dude, go for it, dude.
Dave, are you still resigning? He's going back for it. This is Denver, Colorado. He has done a fantastic job of racing in the Denver area and every place else. Dave Ellis, Mr. Ellis. Dave Ellis built these race cars, fitted the frame. Phoenix, Arizona, as far as Mr. Ellis over here runs Ellis parts and accessories for fitted people in California. They do a fantastic job of supporting racers in the fitted division and keeping parts and good racers. So congratulations to you guys. Your first win here, Dave. Racers look guys for any minute here.
What are you shaking for, Strickler? You need help?
Hi, Joe.
There you go, Lynn. Give him a hand.
Number one before Venus.
Now, if you are going to tour to the press box, just come on up after the race. Okay, how about it? Dave Strickler, winner of USAC Midget main event tonight. His first one in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you, Donna. Presentation there. Last but not least, once again, this guy's got a win streak going on stage. This is the 12th main event for Carl Trevor this year. This is also the final night of the NASCAR point. Carl Trevor has pulled out the so we're looking at another big win there. I want to thank RV Awards for all the beautiful trophies that helped us put out this year. They did a fantastic job. We tried to upgrade the trophies a whole bunch. I think we're on the CN Wing Pass, and we're very proud of what they're doing here. There we go. We're going to the side. Why don't you stand over here, too? You stand next to George. Get right next to George's flag.
Oh, shit.
You can stand
Wide angle.
Hi, George.
We'll go one more.
Well, thank you for all coming once again. We had a beautiful night of racing, a good weather. Don't forget next week, the week after, the shows. Go down to the pit area, talk to the racers, see the race. Wait a minute, here we go. Okay. We're done. Go ahead, Tom.
You went talk. Wait a minute.
No, but the next week, because it's starting, you know?